peach bread pudding with caramel bourbon sauce on Smokin' and Drinkin'. Hey, welcome back to Smokin' and Drinkin'. I'm Mike, and today we're making peach bread pudding with bourbon caramel sauce. Let's get smoking. All right, we are back out in the Kansas wind. Hopefully my ingredients don't all blow away. We're going to make our peach bread pudding with our bourbon caramel sauce. Caramel bourbon sauce. Pretty simple. It's a little bit complicated. A lot of ingredients. We've got, let's go in. We got 6 cups of day-old brioche bread. We kind of toasted it in the smoker. Just kind of dry it out. You can let it sit overnight and it'll kind of do the same thing. 3 fresh peaches. If you remember from last week, Mrs. Smokin bought a bunch of Colorado peaches. So we're on a peach theme here this week. And then 4 large eggs, 2 cups of heavy cream, 1 cup of whole milk, 3/4 cup of sugar. We're using white sugar, but you could also use brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, pinch of salt, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So, got my mixing bowl, got my cream, and we're going to make the custard. And we're just going to add in our cream and our milk. And our 4 eggs. And our vanilla. Cinnamon. And our nutmeg. Can't forget the sugar. Oh, it's going to be delicious. And then we just whisk it. Whisk that all together, get those eggs beaten. It's a nice thick custard. Oh, it smells delicious. All right, got that whisked together real nice. And then we're going to just add our bread, our brioche bread, into that. It's kind of like toast. It's just about supper time, so the sun's in my eyes again. Okay, and then just want to mix that all together, make sure they all get soaked in there. Probably have to mix it every a few minutes here. We're going to let it sit about 10 minutes. Make sure all of the bread is saturated within the custard. Got my cowboy spatula here. Okay, we're just going to let this set for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be right back. All right, we stepped up our smoker to 350. I'm using cherry pellets, by the way. You could use maple, or if you can get peach pellets, or apple. I'm using cherry. Got it up to 350. We're going to assemble the bread pudding. Edit that out. We have our cast iron skillet lightly greased, and we're going to put half of our custard in. Oh, that sun's going to be right in my eyes. Let's go back. We'll put half the custard in the pan. And then half of the peaches. That's a big slice. I didn't do a very good job slicing my peaches here. There we go. Improvise. Only in Kansas does the wind blow every day. I need to put up a wind generator. All right, that's half of our peaches. So then we'll put the other half of our custard on. Okay. And then the rest of our peaches. Oh, I can't wait. That's the hard part about cooking. You gotta wait for it. Get every last one in there. Okay. And then you take your melted butter. It's not completely melted. And you drizzle it on the top. Try not to let the wind blow it all away. Okay. And then we are ready to get that in the smoker. As I said, we'll put it in the smoker for 45 to 50 minutes. Oh, it's heavy. I cannot wait for that. All right. So we'll let that go 45. I'll check it at about 40, 45 minutes. And then while that's going, when we get a little closer, we're going to make our bourbon sauce. What are the ingredients in our bourbon sauce here? 1 cup of sugar, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter cubed, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 2 to 3 tablespoons of bourbon, my favorite cooking ingredient, and a pinch of salt. We'll come back in a little bit to make the bourbon caramel sauce and keep on going. All right, it's been almost an hour, about 55 minutes. It's tricky to know when bread pudding is done. It looks done on the outside, but a couple ways you can test it. You can jiggle it. It should jiggle a little bit like Jello, but be fairly firm. Should have a light toasty crust on top. You can take a butter knife and insert it in the middle. If it comes out mostly clean, it's another indicator. And then we used our temp probe and our thermal probe, and it should be at least 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Ours is over 200, so it's done. Let's get it off of the smoker. Looks delicious. It is heavy. Oh boy. Smells fabulous. Oh man, I wish you could smell this. It's still pretty bubbly in there, but you know, bread pudding is usually a little bit liquidy. That'll set up as it cools. But while it was cooking, we went ahead and made the bourbon caramel sauce, the caramel bourbon sauce, however you want to say it. Here in the Midwest, we call it caramel. Smells like it's got a nice caramely aroma with a hint of bourbon. We put about 8 ounces of 8 teaspoons, I should say, 2 ounces of bourbon in there. 8 ounces, that'd be a stiff syrup. But let's go ahead and get this dished up. We're gonna dish some out in a bowl. We'll have to get a little bit of vanilla ice cream to go with it. And then we'll drizzle a little bit of the caramel bourbon sauce over the top. So let me get a spoon to serve that up, and we'll get going. All right, I cannot wait any longer. I gotta dig in here. It's just, I get this right here. Oh, it just smells wonderful. Didn't burn on the side of the skillet. That's often a problem with the skillet, especially with sugary things. Got to have a little bit of ice cream on there too. You can't have bread pudding without a little ice cream. And then drizzle our caramel bourbon sauce. Okay. Just a little bit of everything there. Oh, it's like I said, the edge is crispy, a little bit toasty. Peaches are soft. Nice, juicy, soft bread pudding inside. That delicious caramel sauce. Oh, oh wow. Oh man. Sorry, Mrs. Smokin. I think I'm gonna have to skip supper and go straight to dessert. Oh. Wow. It takes that little bit of nutmeg in there. Peaches are nice and tender, juicy. That caramel bourbon sauce, just a slight hint of the bourbon. That's more on the aroma, but it's in there. Wow. That is something else. Peach bread pudding with caramel bourbon sauce. Well, I tell you what, you need to try this. That about does it for the bread pudding, the peach bread pudding with bourbon caramel sauce. Get that right, can I? Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to hit that like button if you like this video, and hit subscribe. Helps me out. And ring the notification bell if you want to. And as always, Prost!